Hey rockers, welcome back to Bloody F Mess Official on the weekend. Happy Saturday to you guys. By the time you see this, it'll be Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, sometime Sunday. So happy weekend to all the rockers out there that are checking out this video. And if you're a JOAN Jett fan, stick around. I got a story from 1988. Thanks to Big Al, my buddy Big Al Robbins up in Bayshore, New York, sent me a couple of Amityville, New York shirts in recognition of the Amityville horror. Pretty cool shirts, man. I really dig this one. I had a blue one too that I wore in a previous video, but I wanted to say thank you to Al for the great gift right here, man. We appreciate that, my brother, and shout out to your lovely wife, Laura. My friends, we're going to talk about JOAN Jett tonight. Before I do, I want to show you something kind of cool. If you're a pop culture collector like me, I've met JOAN Jett a few times, and those stories are on this channel if you want to read or see more about if you want to watch more and hear more about my experiences with JOAN Jett. There's probably at least 4 or 5, maybe more videos about that on this channel. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you would to help my channel grow. Pretty cool item that my daughter Audrey, my youngest daughter, picked this up for me. She met JOAN Jett many times. One of the times she had an extra vinyl, this here, and she got it signed and thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it to my dad. And she did, man, and it's cool because I love vinyl, and this is something that Audrey gave me that Joni signed. Pretty cool piece in my collection. Very good stuff, man. We're going back to the year 1988 when I was living in Peoria, Illinois. Geez, I don't even know how old I was in 88. I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 years old, man, and I was dating a girl named Angel. And Angel and I were together about 5 years. That's really irrelevant to the story. But we were together starting in about 87, 88, I guess. So we were kind of freshly new in early 88, perhaps. We decided to go to the fair, the Heart of Illinois Fair. And it's one of the rare times we did not climb the fence to get in. Nope, we actually paid to see JOAN Jett and the BLACKHEARTS perform on July 23rd, 1988. It was the Up Your Alley tour. It was her 6th studio album called Up Your Alley. And if you go online, it says that she actually played Aurora, Illinois on that night, but she didn't. It was Peoria, Illinois. By the way, you like my Y-Files hoodie? It's actually Sister Tracy. Anybody out there into the Y-Files? They're hecklefish, right? Sorry, I get sidetracked easily these days. Yeah, the Up Your Alley tour, it came out in May of 1988, 6th album by Joni. On that tour, she did 55 dates in the United States, 4 in Canada, actually, 1 in Switzerland, 1 in France, 1 in the UK, 1 in Greece, and 1 in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, yeah. JOAN Jett, man, by the way, is a workaholic. You ever notice that? That lady never takes a break. She's always on the road. And a good friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, was actually backstage with JOAN maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And she said she went back there having known JOAN since she was 15. She was backstage with JOAN alone. And she was asking about her life because she hadn't seen JOAN in a long time. And Joni told her, you know, I never know where I'm at. I don't really have any friends. I don't hang out with anyone. I don't know what day it is generally. And my friend felt really sorry for Joni because she was being very sincere, not complaining, just telling her, I don't even know where I'm at most of the time. And that goes to show you what kind of life a lot of these rockers live, man. It's just a blur. And I think JOAN Jett is one prime example of someone that really has never stopped since she was 15 or whatever, starting with the Runaways, right? Alice Cooper's another one, man, just a workaholic, but at least he does a whole bunch of stuff on the side and keeps active with projects. I know Joni's kind of known for that too, but she's definitely a workaholic, living in New York City. I believe she's still there, but I just have the utmost admiration for her. The night we went to see her, man, we were excited because I obviously had never seen JOAN Jett. We wanted to get as close as we could. And how it worked at the fair was you pay to get in, and then the grandstand show is free. And the show's outside. Place was completely packed to the gills. We were lucky enough to get maybe 5th, 6th row. We weren't back that far at all. JOAN Jett comes out on the stage wearing this pink and black leather outfit. It was just sick. I do believe it was like a one-piece thing. Really cool. Something she probably had made custom. She had long black hair. She was really thin. Just looked really good and healthy. The band was just kick-ass. I got to tell you, who was in the band actually? JOAN Jett, of course. Kenny Laguna. I think Kenny was there. I'm not positive if Kenny Laguna was on keyboards, but I'm pretty sure he was. Of course, Kenny Laguna being the most consistent member of the Blackhearts since they formed. He is JOAN Jett's producer, songwriter, business partner since the band did form in 1979. He's known for playing keyboards with Joni. I'm pretty sure he was there, but not positive. But I am positive on who was on guitar, and that's Ricky Byrd. That guy, can't say good enough about his lead guitar playing. I know he was struggling with alcohol and drug addiction during some of those years with the Blackhearts, but you wouldn't have known it at this show. He was just killer, man, like really good. Like Joni would step back and let this guy shred. But Ricky Byrd, of course, was on the guitar from 1981 to 1991 in the Blackhearts. Tommy Price was on the drums, and I got to say, rest in peace, Tommy Price. If you guys haven't heard, the famous drummer, Tommy Price, longtime veteran drummer, died just this year, man, October the 10th, 2025, at the age of 68. There was no cause of death announced. But Tommy Price, man, he played with so many people. Blue Oyster Cult, Scandal, Billy Idol, Joan Jett for many years, from 1986 to 2016. That's a lot of years. And if you want to find something cool by Tommy Price, get on YouTube and check out an EP that he did back in 2002 called Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll. Tommy Price, rest in peace, man. I actually got to meet him once. He was super cool. Found out later, too, that I was dating a girl that was also seeing Tommy Price, like whenever he'd come to town kind of thing. Yeah, I was at her house, and I saw all these items signed to her from Tommy. I'm like, who's Tommy? And then I saw Joan Jett stuff signed by Tommy, and I'm like, Tommy Price? And she goes, yeah. I go, oh, my God, I just getting ready to meet that guy, which that story's on this channel, too, about meeting Joan Jett for the first time. And I did get to hang out with Tommy Price backstage, and I actually told him that I knew the girl he was dating, kind of. That was a weird deal. And Kasim Sultan was on the bass. He was kind of new in the band at the time. I believe he was in the band for about a year at this point. When I thought they were going to be great, I was really let down by the Blackhearts, man, because they were excellent. They were more than great. Yeah, they really kicked ass. Joan was just full of energy on stage. I do not have the exact set list, but I do have the songs she performed in no particular order. She did I Hate Myself for Loving You. Let me say something about Joan. If you've seen her, I'm preaching to the choir. If you have not seen Joan Jett live, she's like a master at engaging the crowd, right? For one, she's beautiful. For two, she's authentic, a real rocker. For three, there's no phony about her, man. She's just emanates cool, right? She was getting one side of the audience to sing, and then the other side, and then the middle. And boy, that happened a lot during this show. I Hate Myself for Loving You. The crowd was singing along like crazy. She did the title track from the movie Light of Day that she was in with Michael J. Fox. If you haven't seen that movie, it's worth checking out, man. Of course, that's a Springsteen song, Bruce. She did I Love Rock and Roll, of course, probably towards the tail end of the show. Of course, I'm doing this out of order, but the whole crowd was singing along to that bad boy. I still remember when I Love Rock and Roll hit the radio, I was just like, who is this? It was around Christmas time or winter time. I remember being snowed in or something when I was a kid, thinking, oh my God, this is one of the coolest songs ever. And then she did I Want to Be Your Dog, a cool cover of the Iggy Pop and the Stooges classic, which she has recorded on studio, of course, and you can find that out there. Really good version of I Want to Be Your Dog. It really hit close to home, being a killer, big Iggy Pop fan for ages and ages. She did Bad Reputation, the whole crowd singing along. Later on in my life, my band, The Veins, covered that song, and that is one badass rock song. And Joan Jett meant every word, because she doesn't give a damn about her bad reputation. Crimson and Clover, the great Tommy James and the Shondell classic, was played. Secretly one of my favorite songs ever. I don't know why secretly, because it's just a killer tune, right? Crimson and Clover by Joan Jett. Top notch. She did Do You Want to Touch Me, even though Gary Glitter did it, and he's kind of outlawed these days. You don't even really mention Gary Glitter because of his crimes. But I got to admit it, like Joan Jett, I'm a big fan of that dude's music. I can't stand what he did. He deserves to have been imprisoned. I think he still might be in prison. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. And she still plays a lot of music by Gary Glitter on her PA system before her shows. And she covers at least one or two of his songs, including Do You Want to Touch Me There? Yeah. The whole crowd singing along big time to that one, man. I was just grinning ear to ear. It was just like, hit song, sing along, sing along. After that, she did Roadrunner by the Modern Lovers, Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers. She did Little Liar, a really good rendition of Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone, which she's, obviously recorded that as well. One of my favorite bands of all time, Sly and the Family Stone. We were singing along, me and Angel, just completely grinning ear to ear. And the whole time I kept thinking one thing. As I was watching that badass rock show, I kept thinking, how in the hell can I meet this lady after the show? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way, because I got the will. And where there's a will, there's a way. Did I meet her? Nope. But I'll tell you what, some of my friends, actually a few lesbian friends of mine, not making fun of them or picking at them for being lesbian. I'm just giving you a tale. But they were hardcore Joan fans, as you can imagine. And they did get to meet Joan Jett, albeit through a fence. So they told me, yeah, after the show, we got to meet Joni. Maybe it wasn't through a fence. I don't remember. But they met her, and I was jealous. Yep, I was like, God, if I would have waited just, a half hour. She came out and kind of talked to some of the fans. I missed it because, well, I guess back then I was pretty damn impatient. Anyway, Cherry Bomb was next. She did the Runaways, song Cherry Bomb, which everybody loves. Everyone and their mother. And of course, I was just psyched because I didn't think she would do any Runaways material, and she did. Later on in the years, Joni included quite a few Runaway songs that she would, interchange throughout her set list over the years. She did Nag, which is a good song by the Halos. Star Star, which I was surprised she did a cover of Star Star by the Stones. Starfucker, Starfucker, Starfucker. Yeah, if you're a Stones fan, you know that Star Star is a cool tune. And to see Joan Jett doing that raunchy-ass tune was just dynamite, like Jimmy J.J. Walker used to say. God, I'm showing my age. Good times. Love is Pain. She did that one that night. And I Still Dream About You. Yeah, those are the songs. And, when she was doing Bad Reputation, I'll never forget this. She said, I don't know why I didn't forget this. I guess I'm just, at least back then, a big sucker for obscenity. Yeah, come to think of it, I do have a pretty big potty mouth, and I have to censor myself quite often on here. She did Bad Reputation, but instead of saying, I don't give a damn about my bad reputation, she said, I don't give a shit about my bad reputation. I thought that was cool and really street of her to throw that in like that instead of keeping it all corporate and glossy. One thing about Joni, too, even though we all know which way she kind of swings sexually, she had a a really big way and how do I say this? Very successful way of flirting with the guys and the girls. Yeah, the boys and the girls always felt a personal connection. If you've ever seen Joan Jett close up, I'm not bragging, but I have a lot. You get close enough to where she gives you eye contact, she'll wink at you, she'll throw you a guitar pick, she'll do little moves and just be like, just flirty. Doesn't matter, boy or girl, she always made everybody feel like she was hot for you. Literally, because I made eye contact with Joni a few times. When we met her the second time, Sister Tracy Joni asked her if she could hold her hand through the fence. And they were holding hands for like 5 minutes, and Tracy kept going, I can't believe I'm holding hands with Joan Jett. And Joan Jett was just smiling, and then Joan's talking, and the guy walks over at the private airport we were at, and he says, this gate opens. We'd been talking through a fence for 10 minutes. And of course, what's his name? Oh, God. Never mind. One of the guys in her band that escapes me right now, it'll probably pop up in a minute. Joni goes, open that fence, man. The fence opens up, and we were just like, yeah, man, there's Joni. And she goes, hey, man, could I give you guys a hug? And she was super personal, man. Personable, I should say. Very cool. She even said, hey, do you want to do photos together? And said, you want to get one with me? You want one with her and me? She was so cool, man. It was about a 30-minute hangout, and it was cool. Anyway, just kind of reminiscing, man. But she really did have that special way with her winking and throwing the pics and doing her special spins on stage. And I can't say enough about Ricky Byrd, man. That dude killed it on guitar. He was like the Randy Rhoads of the Blackhearts, probably one of the best guitar players they had. But they did have a lot, so I won't take that away from them. Sammy Yaffa from Hanoi Rocks spent time in Joan Jett's band too. Would have loved to have seen the Blackhearts with Sammy Yaffa, man. What's his name? Something Needles. Man, somebody in the comment section is going to remind me. I forget the guy's name that's been with her for years in her band. But he was out there while we were talking to Joan at the private airport. Anyway, I got to say this, man. After that show was over, we felt like we were just had been through a workout session and been to the gym and maybe even the psychiatrist, because we walked out of there feeling light and fluffy. And I was like, yeah, I met Joan Jett. And then on the other hand, when I found out my friends had met her after we left, I was like, pisses me off I didn't meet JOAN Jett. Anyway, man, thanks for hearing another weird little flashback memory from the recesses of my brain. I do appreciate each and every one of you rockers. Thanks for being here, man. And I do appreciate all the new and old subscribers. Again, if you have not yet subscribed, please think about that. Leave a comment below if you want, and tell me some of your experiences with Joni. And especially if you met her ever, tell me how that went. And give me a thumbs up or a like if you enjoyed the video. It's not going to kill you, man. Keep rocking. Take care, man. Be back soon. I promise. And for those of you that don't want me to be back soon, I guess it's a threat. Cheers. Hold fast.